How are we doing this morning? All right, we got a nice little intimate crowd, some good friends, some familiar faces. So we're going to make this, you can't hide, so we're going to be interactive today. And even though you may be dragging a little bit, Glenn, we gotta perk it up. So word on the street is that we've been looking for drivers for a long time. I think since I was born was when deregulation happened. I think it was the same year. And ever since, we've been on this nonstop search for who the heck's going to go behind our wheel. And not just anyone, right? We were looking for the right person, right values, motivation, personality. And so if anyone was part of the presentation yesterday, pretty much checking the box on that's kind of the tactical side of how to go about it. Today we're going to focus on, we talked about your brand and being a brand centric, getting away, stop letting those sites control what your message is, stop letting some of those reviews control who you are. That's what this is about. So today you've got a brand, like it or not, you've been probably trying to influence it, but when someone hears your name, Keen Advantage, you know, Bruce, what does the driver think? So we'll dive into that. I'll put you on the spot later here on that. But that's what a brand is, right? So when we think about, so Fernando's drinking Diet Pepsi right now. When you think Pepsi, what do you think about?
That Coke is better.
There you go. That's because their head buys a lot bigger and they want you to think that, right?
No, I actually only drink Coke. I'm very upset they don't have it.
So when you hear Coke, what do you think about? That was only about $50 billion to get you to think that, but that is what the brand is, right? That first thing that you think about. So that's what we're going to focus on here today. And the reason why I call it step one is because you guys start with your message first. Then the conversation yesterday was fantastic. It's all the technical stuff, but you can't do it until you get this side of the fence in order. So that's what we're going to focus on. So I'm going to share with you our process on how we create a brand statement. Feel free to blatantly steal it, take it back to home. Two, we're going to focus a lot on driver personas, and there's been one persona that's been causing folks in this room, they've been flummoxed by my generation, the millennials, trying to figure out what it is that makes us tick. So we're going to talk a little bit about that specific persona. We have a whole presentation on that, but today we're going to do it in 5 minutes, give you a little taste. And then so you can walk away with some real world examples so you actually know how can you take this back and apply it to your business. So, Glenn, you got a few guys that look like this behind the wheel. This is actually, thank you for the picture. This is, I think, your youngest driver.
Well, his dad actually is our oldest driver.
Yeah. So, obviously we got, so does anyone's taking surveys of how old their fleet is right now?
Yep.
What's the age, Bruce?
53.
53?
Average age. We're 49 and a half.
49? Oh, what's your name? I'm sorry.
Trisha.
Trisha.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
Yeah,
Did you know?
41.
Oh, young boys.
We're estimating that about 23% of our drivers will retire in the next 5 years.
I'm sorry, what was that number again?
23% of
sorry.
our drivers will more than likely retire in the next 5 years. So we've got to replace not only with the turnover, but we've got to, the normal attrition, we've got to deal with a tsunami.
Mm-hmm. So that's exactly what we're focusing on here is how do we get, and we've got some time, we talked a little bit about today before the robots come in. We got a gap here that we got to figure out between that tsunami of retirees plus robots, but we're not quite sure yet what that time frame looks like and how truly autonomous that's going to be. So unfortunately, it's a problem that we got to solve. So we're going to start with an exercise here. And so we have three examples. Trisha, we'll get you going. Glenn, and we'll do Fernando. So we have this example this process called the Post-it note test. And everyone else in the audience, we need you to play along too, so get your pens out. Now, some of us don't have drivers, but still play the game if you want. I got a pen for you, Glenn. Somewhere around here. So you're not a good student.
I'm a millennial. I don't do things on paper.
It's good.
Creative group.
I like it. So we're going to write down one reason on each Post-it note. So 3 Post-it notes. Give me one reason why a driver would join and stay with your company. So one reason per Post-it note. If you're working on paper, 3 bullet points. Why would they join and stay with your company? All right, ready? Bruce, can you read off your 3 reasons, please?
Great environment with attractive work.
Okay.
Good equipment.
Okay. So great environment with attractive work, good pay, good equipment. Glenn, what do you have? You're still working?
No, I got it. I just more wordy. Feeling like I belong here. That's really important for our folks. Kind of a family type relationship that exists between our drivers and the local terminal. Independence, and then I wouldn't say great pay because it's a tough business, right? But fair pay.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the 3 reasons. But number 1 for me, for our company, is feeling like you're part of something.
Okay. Fernando, what do you have?
In the water, safety, people, and equipment.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Safety,
Yeah?
people, and equipment.
Okay. So what I'm looking at here is let's trying to find your little unique thing that sticks out. Well, what can you say that the other guys can't say? So we heard a couple pay. We had good pay, fair pay. We're going to break those down on what those specifically mean. I understand that pay scales are complicated, right? But we see a lot of when we're doing advertising, pay scales tend to be fairly comparable, similar to the same, hard to differentiate unless you got truly something unique package out there. Equipment, again, kind of another one. What does that specifically mean? Fernando, a little interesting fact that we learned from our research is that safe drivers they physically search for safe trucking companies. So if that is part of your brand statement and part of what you message, that does have an audience out there that resonates with people. So how we do this Post-it note test is, and we'll break it down, is we take a list of who you are, what are all the reasons, 1 reason per Post-it note, and we put it up on a wall like this. And then we put our competition down the line with their same reasons, and we're just on their websites. We'll call them, we'll figure out what's going on, what are their pitch, what are their top reasons. And we just cross the board and say, what are these things that are really unique? And if we see good pay, we rip that one down. We don't have a unique way that we stand out. Let's not waste our time marketing something that the other guy is already saying. So we rip those off. Going back to equipment, Bruce, what specifically does that mean? Hey, is it guaranteed 2015 and newer? Probably not, right? And it's not for that new person. So what can we really stand behind? Good equipment. Maybe we tear that one down. So we're going to start to break into how we actually create something unique and a sea of sameness, because that's what it is. And if you guys have been to the Pilot Flying J, the driver's racks outside the men's room. And if you go there, you take a look at one of those cards. Just take a look at a random 5 the next time on your way home today or tomorrow. You could probably take a logo of the company next to it and put on the logo on the one right next door to it, and that whole advertisement would apply to it. So if you're a driver, how do you choose if we're all saying the same thing? And that's what we're going to focus today, is how do we impact this unique message. So, okay, personas. So yesterday, Tony referred to target demographics. We all heard of target demographics from marketing standpoint. Personas takes that and blows it out. It gives you a story. It gives you a sense of who this actually is, takes the numbers. And so the objective of a persona is, when you're creating an ad campaign, we're creating an ad campaign not just for our drivers. We're creating specific ad campaigns for the different employees that we're looking for. If you see and we've kind of got a sense from company versus owner-operator, that makes sense in our head, okay, different message for those 2 people. But this example, these are all company drivers for one of our clients, Bestway Express down in Vincennes, Indiana, where they said, well, we did this study with them, and came to be that they actually have 5 different personas on which we created 5 different campaigns. So, for example, New Me Dead, and these are real people, and we put these pictures on there, so when you're creating the campaign, you're thinking, okay, what's going to resonate with Ned? Because the message for Ned is going to be different than 2 Week Out Tom. So Ned, new to the industry, got to remember we're speaking to someone who doesn't know what cents per miles mean or average miles per week, and we adjust our ads and our message accordingly. Dedicated Dan, he's someone that values consistency. That's a word we're going to hit in our ad campaign for Dedicated Dan. Consistency, routine, sameness. He likes that. That's what he's built for. Not everyone likes that. Dedicated Dan does. Home on Weekends, Hannah, we learned that she, family is what drives her, and we had an ad campaign driven all on the family values of the company and getting home to be with your family. 2 Week Out of Time was a cowboy. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, that is a black eye. That is kind of a dying breed here, as we know. But there was enough to. They obviously have the business like everyone else. They can find them, fantastic. So we didn't put a lot of energy behind it, but we do have a campaign for 2 Week Out Time. And local area for the shuttle routes. The guy just, hey, I just need to be home every night. That's what I want. Home every night, a couple bucks an hour. I value that over, you know, a 60, 70, 80 grand a year job. So again, does it make sense here? Different messages for different people. That's what this is about. Your message for Newbie Ned is going to be different for local area. It's going to be different from 2 Week Out Time. And if you guys are interested, feel free to contact me afterwards. We've got stay interviews a format that we use. Be happy to give you that template for your people to smile and dial, pick up the phones, talk with your drivers. This came from talking to 35 of their drivers until it started to boil down and go, okay, this is where they're filtering out to.